Well, Gaffer, first and foremost, just the EFL draw, obviously a home tie with Swansea City. I suppose when you get a cup draw, you just want to be at home.
Yeah, no, it's a good draw. It's a Premier League team at home. I think I remember we played them a few years ago, one of the first years I was here, I think. It wasn't a good night. I think I remember Sinclair got a hat-trick in the night. He was excellent. But no, it's a good draw for us. You've seen the players they're bringing into the club at the minute, 14, 15 million pound players. So it's a good test for all our players to test themselves against Premier League players, and I'm sure it'll be a good night.
Yeah. Ultimately, that's in a couple of weeks, and you've got plenty of business ahead of that. Starting on Saturday with a game against Bradford City, playoff semi-finalists last year, and they've invested quite heavily in the summer as well.
Yeah, they have. They've got a good manager, very experienced manager. So it's going to be another tough game. I think every game in this league is tough, for different reasons. We spoke about Wimbledon's approach to the game during the week, and they didn't disappoint us. We knew they'd put balls in their box, and I think Bradford's changed their style a little bit under Stuart McCall, but they still got the threat of Hansen, who's excellent in the air, and we need to be alive to that. We weren't good on Tuesday night in terms of dealing with the long balls, but we'll make sure that we're a lot better. If any reason Bradford do go into Hansen quite a bit, we'll make sure we're alive for second balls, things like that. But yeah, it's going to be another good game, a game that I fully expect us to win at home, and then I'll be making sure the players are well aware of that this morning.
Yeah, we spoke on Tuesday about the positives, obviously scoring from a set piece, but obviously conceding from a set piece is something that I guess angers you as a manager.
It does. We knew Chris Whelpdale's good in the air. We just switched off at the front post. We had 2 against 1, and they just let him get across the front of him. It's disappointing because we work a lot on them, as we do with our attacking corners, as we seen one work on Tuesday. It's disappointing, but in this league, it's a high percentage of teams. Millwall are very good at set plays, and it was probably one of the reasons why they got up there into the playoffs last year because of it. So we know we have to be good at set plays, both attacking and defensively, and we strive to do that.
In terms of team selection, obviously Michael Bostwick came in at centre half because Ryan Tafazoli was unavailable. He's been doing a bit of work this week, Ryan, in terms of getting his fitness somewhere close to being acceptable to be in the squad.
Yeah, Ryan should be available for the weekend. Hopefully, he'll be back training with the lads today. He's been training with the physio most of the week, so that'll be a boost for us all to have him back. He's been brilliant in pre-season. He was a great signing for the club. I thought, he good lad, wants to learn, really good attitude. So he should be available for selection, which is great. But like you say, Ballsy's done well, as is Jack Baldwin, and I'm a big firm believer that if someone does well, they keep their place in the team. But like I say, we'll have to see and wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, the under-21s are in the league this year, but it doesn't actually start till mid-September. So how important was it to get that friendly against Norwich midweek?
It was a good friendly, yeah. Norwich brought their under-23 team here. Probably the team that's probably they'll play in the new cup format thing we've got going on, in the little league, Champions League thing, whatever you want to call it. So we had a look at Norwich. I'm sure they had a look at us. It was interesting to see that most of their players were 2021, so were ours. So it just goes to show you that the squad that we've got here, that in my opinion, some of them could easily have played in that Norwich team. So yeah, we've got good strength and depth. It was a good performance. It was good to get Jermaine Anderson 90 minutes. It was good to get Michael Smith 90 minutes. And Ricardo Santos, Adil Nabi, Callum Chettle, Harry Anderson played, Joe Gormley played. So there was a lot of positives to come out of the game, and 4 goals again.
Yeah, there was no messing in terms of, obviously, players came off the bench on Tuesday, but they still had a game the following day, which is what you want to top them up minute-wise. I'm thinking Jerome, Bin and Williams, and obviously Callum Chettle, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Jerome was another one. I didn't mention him, yeah, but Jerome played the night before, played another 45 minutes the night after, or the day after, so it was good to get, that was the most important thing. I think you can do as much training as you want. It's the game time that you need. Our under-21s get scheduled and start till next month, so we're going to try and schedule a couple of games in to keep the players as fit as possible when needed. And as you've seen in the previous 2 games, that there has been a couple of changes because of injuries and things like that. So it's important that everyone's up to speed when they're called upon, and we'll look to do that in the next few weeks, hopefully. Yeah.
Obviously 2 good wins, but there's nothing like the first home league game of the season, and you'll be looking forward to a decent atmosphere at the ABAX.
We're all looking forward to it. It's first league game at home. We're all hoping there's going to be a good crowd there to back us. I know Bradford will bring a big fan base. We want to make sure that our fans are loud and oversing their fans, and that will only help us. At Rochdale they were brilliant. They drove the boys on to get the victory, and even on Tuesday night, even though there wasn't many there, but the 2,500 that did come out to support us, and the boys really appreciate it. And I'm hoping there's going to be a lot more there on Saturday, because ultimately they're the ones who'll drive us on to victories this year. I spoke about it before, and how important it is to have your fans on your side, and they have been so far, and long may continue.